Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we got young Laff under a little bit of pressure. What's the story?
No pressure.
I
No
see your
pressure. It was a
team
good
were-
weekend. Sharks lost. Spurs
Your team were
lost.
pathetic.
Spurs lost. Sharks lost. Was a good weekend.
How's your television set?
No, tidy. I've learned. You know why? I learned now. I predicted Spurs would win nothing.
Yeah.
They'll win as much as Liverpool do this year, and
Yeah.
possibly United.
In fact, they'll win less than them both.
I don't know if they'll win less.
No, okay.
They're going to win nothing, both of them.
Yeah.
But
Sharks?
Sharks, they've got a. I've seen junkies on steroids with less aggression than those guys. Every single week, someone's sent off or yellow carded, and the discipline's terrible. The stadium's going to be empty, James, if they don't change it.
Well, you're 100% right. When you look from a year ago,
Yeah.
how good they were under Jake White for the first half of the season, they were absolutely phenomenal. But if you want to be a top sportsman, you've got to be prepared to work.
And you've got to control your aggression, James.
Did you watch the US Masters by any chance?
Absolutely. I
How
watched it.
fantastic is that likely?
That young man breaking all the records. But what I was very pleased about, to see Tiger back.
Yeah.
Tiger come off a long break. He raced fresh. He played very well. Again, our South Africans aren't too far off the best. I was pleased a few of them started to show a bit of fight. But this youngster, 10 out of 10 to him, James.
You know, it was interesting. McIlroy, after 27 holes, was 3 over par.
Yes.
He ended up 12 under, so he made up 15 shots, 15 under par in 27 holes, which is
He's still a great player.
not 27, 36 and 9, 45
Did you see
holes.
the bra that Gary Player put on?
No.
Put a big bra there the night before.
I don't think it was as good as our bra up at Dubai on the.
I
what's
wasn't
that?
there. So
Up on the grandstand.
But
Yeah.
imagine Boerewors in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, Boerewors, and he had, I think it was Strauss, the old rugby player there. He had got, Ernie else had got him a ticket, so he came. There were a lot of South Africans there, and all supporting their boys. But wasn't to be. But I think James, the second youngest man to ever win the Masters. I think great future.
Oh, he's a fantastic player.
Is he? You're a golfer. Is he that good?
Yeah, he's that good. But it was going to be interesting between him, McIlroy, and now maybe Woods coming back.
Yeah.
Because if you get the three of them on song, you're going to have some golf.
Mickelson's still a grand force, right?
He's a
Second.
fantastic player, Mickelson. Justin Rose played very nicely, but just every time it looked like he made something, the kid came back.
It's so much more competitive today than it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There's 10 people who having a bet on a place on a golfer is hard today.
Yeah. Even Blubber Watson, some people like him. We've got a great show today because we are not only going to chat to Mike de Kock in your call, we're going to have a word with him in current affairs about the latest developments as far as he's concerned, what's going on in his life. But we're also going to be talking to Peter Gibson, who's the head honcho at Thoroughbred Breeders Association. He's going to be telling us about the upcoming sale. But let's go and have a look at 3 to follow.
And they are off in the Travers. Flower Alley is the winner.
His dad, Distorted Humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another. Wins the Derby.
I'll have another in the Preakness.
Lilacs and Lace, 48 to 1 upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Right, well, let's go and have a look at Kenilworth last Monday. Joey Ramsden stepped out a couple. He always got some decent horses. This looks like a really nice horse. Let's go and have a look at Macduff winning the first race.
Yeah, James, he runs for Bernard Cantor, and Joey was telling us after the race that he had phoned up Bernard and said, I've seen a very nice horse here. He's by Street Cry, a great stallion anywhere in the world. Thrown great horses everywhere, thrown a Kentucky Derby winner, and through Zenyatta. But this horse gets off to speed early, James, and there were some decent horses. The runner-up is a very nice Captain L. I think it's Black Tractor or something.
No, that ran third, Black Tractor. That's
Sorry.
We'd put in our 3 to follow, Black Tractor, and he showed tremendous amount of speed, but he just got outclassed at the death. Black Tractor ran a good race. He's worth following this horse. I think he'll win them
Look at
races.
the action of the winner, James. He's in the yellow.
in the
Just
middle.
in the middle, loping along, and I looked across here and I thought they're going towards the 500. Pierre Cornelhoff has got a lot of horse, and just a couple of pushes here from Byrne. I thought, oh no, this horse ain't going to catch the leader.
Well, there's the leader, Black Tractor, now on the inside.
Suddenly finds his feet. Look at him in the yellow here, James. They've got 300. Look at this. This is a racehorse. Whoa. You realise what it's about. And he went past very good horses. These front four horses are useful.
Yeah, I thought 50 Cents ran a very, very good race as well. Coming here with a
great
run
action
on the outside. Was the fourth horse, Northern Corner. And they just look like there might be some nice horses, but this horse looks like he's got huge scope for him.
Huge scope. I believe they're going to throw him out, and he's called Macduff, named after James's golfing prowess. But remember the name, Macduff.
My Scottish friends, Macduffs, the Macduff family, they're very good friends of mine. We're going to go now to see Laf's friends from the desert. Saturday, the 11th of April, and go and have a look at the first race at Turfentine. And Mike de Kock stepped out another one that we think that you should have a close look at. This might be another Mamshu.
Yeah, it's called Sharma, by Reduced Choice, very similar. Comes out the gate all right, and if you notice, James, what impressed me about this horse is when they're together at the 600, suddenly she skips 2-3 clear. She's one let down, but they're going quickly, and you can see her in the Hamdan Silks. Anthony Delpesh is your pilot for Mike de Kock, and they're leading along at a good dance, but they do come up to us running towards the 600.
Well, the second horse is a winner and looks like quite a nice filly for David Nevenhuizen. And this just absolutely canters past him.
Yeah.
I think this is a very, very good filly. She's got great action too. She does remind me of Mamshu when she stepped out, and it's hard to fill those shoes. But
yeah,
this
you see when he asked her to run, James, he's next to them. Suddenly, the race is over as a contest in 3 strides. Hallmark of a good horse's acceleration.
Yeah.
And the runner-up runs a very good race too. Sapsan, I think his name is, with Pierre Stradum in the irons. But at this stage, Anthony realises I'm 5 clear. I'm going to let this down. Follow this one, James.
Yeah. Another very, very nice filly. So those are 2, except look at just eased down, cantered in, absolutely cantered in. 2 very nice fillies, and I think that a filly and a colt at least, certainly worth having a good look at. The third one we're going to have a look at the Maritzfontein draft. Now this has got a pedigree. If you're going to buy a horse with a pedigree to go the July, you've got to have a look at this colt. Let's go and have a look at him.
Yeah, here he is, lot 110, Scottish Guard, is a bay colt, and it's a lovely photograph of him. He's by great champion stallion Silvana, out of a horse chestnut mare called Crown Office. And James, you know the family well here.
Yeah, well, this is she's a half sister to Gray's Inn, the dam.
The dam, eh?
You know, this horse has got everything, and he doesn't look like a one-pace plodder. He looks like he's got tremendous set of hindquarters, lovely shoulder to him,
lovely
deep girth, stands over ground. This could be some type of horse. He's got the pedigree. You go at Maritzfontein, lot 110. You'll be able to see him in about 10 days' time. In fact, I heard Kevin told me that they're arriving there already at the sales ground, and Peter Gibson will tell us more about it. But what a beautiful colt from Maritzfontein. Go and have a look at him.
Yeah, I believe they're arriving up there. We've got the other sale as well, the CTS sales coming up.
Yeah, that's on the weekend.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Sopjan, told me that they're arriving there as well. So we got some sales coming up, but we've got the big one coming up, James. 3 days.
Yeah, we will be previewing that with Peter Gibson, and we've got Jessica coming in next week to talk about her spring and Mary's spring and what's going on as far as the sales concerned. That should be fun, but let's go and have a look at the blast from the past. You'd like to buy one of these. This was one of the best horses I've ever seen down the straight.
Gates are open. Soft falling rain, pulling clear. Soft falling rains won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2,000 guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells. Soft falling rain, much too good. Soft falling rain, an impressive guineas winner. Soft falling rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's Soft Falling Rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Golden Loom is also drawn towards the right-hand side of your screen as you'll watch the race. Chili Bang goes back in. Sketch for a start, and away they go. Over towards the outside, Golden Loom got racing very quickly with Young Harvest, but Chili Bang is heading off for the lead in the computer form sprint. Tommy Hotspur keeping to his station down the extreme left-hand side of your picture. But Shuchak is drifting over towards the outside as they race him down towards the 600 now. Chili Bang is right on the outside from Golden Loom. Tommy Hotspur is keeping to his station right down towards the inside with the white sleeves and cap. Shuchak is just in behind the leaders. They were followed further back by Young Harvest as they raced him down towards the 300 now, and that's Tommy Hotspur right down towards the inside. That is the leader in the computer form sprint. Golden Loom is now setting off after him. Then comes Young Harvest, Chili Bang, Shuchak and qualify, but Tommy Hotspur a clear advantage. Never So Good is coming strongly down towards the inside. Tommy is stopping. Golden Loom is flying. So too Never So Good. Tommy will just do it. Tommy Hotspur has made it 10 out of 12. Tommy Hotspur has won the computer form sprint. The second placing may just go to the outsider Never So Good.
Well, if you ever remember Gosforth Park, it was rumoured to be dead down the inside. This horse made it look easy, and you see what flashed up on the outside. This was a goofy.
Yeah.
What a computer form sprint. Now, I don't know. I don't think that we have sprinters of that caliber. We saw Trip Tease win on the weekend. He's a lovely horse.
And he's won a lot of races now.
Yeah, and he'll be going for the computer form sprint. But Tommy Hotspur was something special. Gee, was he quick.
Yeah, he was very, very quick. And the horses chasing him were good horses. There's some cracking sprinters in those days.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, every year, most of our best horses go out of here. But that was a vintage crop of sprinters. Let's go and have a look at the plum of the week.
Generalissimo is the leader. On the outside is Valo, further back Prince of Magic, but Generalissimo being kept together at the 200-metre marker, and it's Generalissimo just kicks away from the opposition, Matter of Alpha. Generalissimo to win it by about 5 lengths. The second position, Hold the Line of Valo. Second place is very close between Valo and Hold the Line, and then Buffalo Bill.
Well, he's a very nice horse, Generalissimo. What a way to start off your weekend. We always try and find one, and he looked like the business, and you could have got 9 to 10 on Interbet. He opened 18 to 10. You could have got 2 to 1 on Interbet. That was the way you like to have them when they're starting your weekend off, your punting weekend off, and they win like that.
Very good horse. This is going places, and Dennis has always rated him. Didn't he break the track record for 6 furlong at Kenilworth in his debut run in Cape Town?
Could be.
This is a very good horse. And he didn't stay, patently didn't stay, and he wasn't the same horse. He's come back, and Dennis has given him the time, and very good horse.
You're being ignored, which is very lucky. You're on your own now. It's me to go and carry the show, so let's go and have a look at current affairs. We've got 4 features from Mike de Kock. Well, we've got to keep going. It's, we just
name of the game.
Current affairs. It's Raymond screaming in the background because
Raymond Spielberg.
Yeah, Raymond Spielberg. Has he found this thing? No, we haven't.
No, we'll go straight into it.
No problem. Let's just go and we'll go and have a look at current affairs.
Yeah, let's go into current affairs.
We're going to go straight into it. No sting, and we're going to go and have a look at the Umzimkhulu Stakes at Greyville on the 10th of April. Let's go and pick them up.
Fantastic, the pink sleeves. Silver Class, green sleeves and cap is back at the panel. 4th in One Fine Day. Alexis, the black caps, the trailer. About 6 lengths off the leader. Umzimkhulu Stakes field heads towards the 600 and Fire Dancing makes the running. They're not going very quickly. In second is Seattle Lady. Then Future Fantastic, Silver Class. The 2 at the back, Alexis and One Fine Day, they homeward bound. And Fire Dancing now makes a sprint of it. Towards the inside is Seattle Lady, Silver Class, Future Fantastic on the outside. Then One Fine Day and Alexis. It's still Fire Dancing on the outside, Seattle Lady. And One Fine Day and Silver Class starting to warm up. But One Fine Day coming home powerfully. Alexis running on from behind, but One Fine Day is going to win. One Fine Day, Silver Class second, Alexis third, and Fire Dancing ran fourth.
There we go, One Fine Day, no doubt had the form. This horse, very good horse. We saw it in the 2-year-old Group 1 race here behind Africa Burn. Had some wonderful horses behind it, coming right back to its best, and wins this Group 3 with a lot of authority, James.
Yeah, she's by Trippy out of a King Mambo mare. She's got a pedigree, and she's shown that she just, you know, you end up with Majmu in the same stable. Yeah. You're going to be running in other races, and I think they picked the right race here. She looked like an absolute blinder in the race.
I agree with you.
But we're going to move on and go and have a look at the Bali Turk, which is the next feature race on the evening. And this was for the 3-year-olds. These are all build-up races for the big season, the champion season. And this was a very, very good win. I like this horse. I've always liked him, and I thought that he'd win here. He won well.
And King's Archer is the leader. Back in second, Highway Explorer. A number of fighters. Take note of those at the back. On the outside is Heartland, and then comes Easy Lover back at the rail with Light the Lights. And then King Vulture's a little bit more settled. And at the back of the field, Allenby Park, but they compact about 4.5 lengths top to tail. And it's King's Archer who leads them. King's Archer will bring them into the home stretch. On the outside is Heartland. Then comes Highway Explorer. They're followed by Light the Lights. Further back is King Vault. And then comes Easy Lover. Top of the lane now, and Heartland now moves up to challenge King's Archer down the inside. Towards the outside, King Vault. Highway Explorer tries to get into the race. Light the Lights on the outside. But it comes down to Heartland and King Vault over the last 100. Heartland, King Vault is starting to close it down, but Heartland's going to hang on. Heartland has got it one. King Vault second. Third place, maybe King's Archer from Easy Lover.
Well, the whole field within 3 lengths or so, and Heartland looked magnificent. He really is a very nice horse. King Vault ran a decent race and still hasn't won beyond 6, but he's locked horns with some very big horses. Easy Lover and the Stalemate ran good races, James. But this Heartland, as you were saying earlier, might have that scope to go the 10 furlong and that to be even more effective.
Yeah, I think that's where his game's going to be. He's by Dynasty.
Isn't he Jackson's brother?
Out of a Cozine mare.
Yeah.
There's got to be scope to go 10 furlongs. And he looks like more of a stayer type than a sprinter type. I was impressed with his win. I thought that he won.
So was I. I was very impressed with him. Very good ride by Sean Cormack. Well done to Justin Snaith. That's the Bali Turks. Got Justin rolling down here, and so he'll be happy. He's picked up a grade 3 to start his campaign. And then the next one we're going to go and have a look at is for R1 million, and that is the Laurie Jaffe Empress Club Stakes, and it's run up in Gauteng over a mile. Let's have a look at this race.
And away they go in this big one today. Banbury jumped away well. Tammany quick into stride. Smart Call out. Chetri Pink. Majmu's only 3 lengths off them. What a Lady follows them with Not Sulking, Trophy Wife, same jurisdictions, about 6 lengths off the leader. Further back, Enchanted Silk. Then we go back to Hammy's Hooker and Winter Stars, the trailer in the Empress Club Stakes. And there's got to be 9 lengths from first to last as they went through the 1,000-metre marker now. And that leader up there in front, Tammany, leads by 1 length or so. Racing second is Smart Call on the outside of Banbury in third. In fourth is Majmu's racing 2-3 off the fence, followed by Archetri Pink. In behind that one comes towards the inside, Not Sulking, What a Lady. Further back, same jurisdiction, 7 to find. Further back, Enchanted Silk. Behind that, Hammy's Hooker and Winter Star. In the Laurie Jaffe Empress Club Stakes, they turn for home. They've got a little more than 600 to go. Tammany's the leader. Smart Calls on the outside. Then Banbury. Further back, Chetri Pink is down the inside. Majmu's up the centre. Only got 2 lengths to find. What a Lady's going with her at this stage. Same jurisdiction. Still got 4 to go. As they head on down with 300 to go. Majmu strikes the front. What a Lady back in second. Then Tammany. Trophy Wife behind that. Hammy's Hooker runs down the inside. 200 to go. It's Majmu out in front. Clear of Tammany. Back in third is Trophy Wife, but it's Majmu. And here is Majmu. She's all that she said that they said she was. And she'll beat home Trophy Wife. Tammany third and Hammy's Hooker back in fourth. What a Lady was fifth.
Well, watching a superstar in action, Majmu, who has proved she is the #1 filly around, James. Very impressive again.
Yeah, I think this filly's, this is a champion. When you see fillies like this, she should never have been beaten. The day she got beaten, she was absolutely butchered, as we've been through before. She beat them comfortably. Yeah, you know, she never seems to really be extended, and I think that...
I just want to touch on same jurisdiction because I made a couple of inquiries. When I watched the race, I didn't realise that she was declared a non-runner afterwards because the pen bounced back.
Yeah.
And I've subsequently spoken to one of the owners, and he said, yeah, it happened earlier in the day. And I spoke to Larry Weinstein about it. Larry said they've opened basically an inquiry. They've got a liaison meeting because they had a handler not release a horse early in the day, declared a non-starter. This pen bounced back for no apparent reason and clubbed this filly in the face. And they're going to look into it and see this is not acceptable, which is you don't want happening in a Group 1 race for $1 million. But so that's the feedback on same jurisdiction. And thanks for Larry letting me know that. But whatever way you look at it, it's very hard to detract in any way from the winner.
I don't think that I don't think there's a filly in South Africa that will beat this filly. Hammy's Hooker is a proven Grade 1 winner, and she was well beaten.
Has Hammy's Hooker won a Grade 1?
Yeah.
Has she?
Yes.
I
think the last start she won a Grade 1 in Cape Town, didn't she?
Okay, I don't think so, but I don't know. I wouldn't argue the point.
Well, she's certainly a Grade 1 performer. She run in every single
she's
Grade
very,
1
very good, yeah.
This filly is brilliant.
Sean Terry, second and third. Well done to him. He kept them rolling. Right, James, now we're going to the race that everyone watches, Krabby's Grand National. And it's a Grade 3 race, you know, and I don't know how much we've got on film.
Last 800 metres.
Last 800 metres, and Leighton Aspel, James.
Yep.
He wins it again, eh?
2 years in
I had a couple of rand on McCoy, and I kept thinking,
McCoy, you know.
it's going to quicken. And James, it just didn't see it out.
Well, when you listen to McCoy after the race, he said he really thought with 3 furlongs to run he was going to win it. He said he was going better than anything, but he just didn't have the horse underneath him. And he is a brilliant jockey. Oh, I'm sad he's going. But 19 times English jumps champion, Tony McCoy, he's been a credit to the game, and whatever he does, he will be a credit to the game because he is just one of those people that's special. Let's have a look and see the Grand National, see what it looks like.
Back in third, then is Saint-Ar from Sol, just in front of Oscar Tyne, then Royal Knight, who's trying to make ground. Behind that one, then is Pinot de Rey from Knight in Milan and Alvarado. Further back to Godsby Judge and Monbeg Dude, and back to Stewart.
2 fences left to jump in the 2015 Krabby's Grand National. It's many clouds, and last year's winning jockey Leighton Aspel who lead. Saint-Ar in Paddy Brennan up on the outside, and then the soon-to-be 20 times champion AP McCoy on Shut the Front Door, just beginning to niggle away in third place as they run on down towards the second last. Royal Knight, Oscar Time with the orange sleeves making headway for Sam Whaley-Cohen. 2 out, many clouds over in front from Shut the Front Door and Saint-Ar who are chasing. Royal Knight took it in fourth, then Oscar Time followed by Monbeg Dude, Sol and Alvarado, and it's many clouds in the colours of Trevor Hemmings who will lead at the final fence in the National. Lands 3 lengths clear. Saint-Ar chases him off towards the elbow. Shut the Front Door back in third and now looking one pace. Monbeg Dude is staying on in fourth, then Royal Knight and Alvarado just over a furlong to go in the National. Many clouds and Leighton Aspel 4, maybe 5 lengths ahead of Saint-Ar. Monbeg Dude is still staying on stoutly, has moved into third and then Shut the Front Door. Many clouds. Saint-Ar is trying to get on terms, cutting him back near the line. Many clouds clinging on tenaciously from Saint-Ar in the colours of Trevor Hemmings. It's Many Clouds who wins the Krabby's Grand National. Leighton Aspel again, this time for Oliver Sherwood. Saint-Ar is second, Monbeg Dude.
Well, there we are, 25-1. Many clouds. And Leighton Aspel, he won it last year, back-to-back wins for him. Oliver Sherwood, the trainer. There's great excitement to win a race like this.
Yeah, Oliver Sherwood was a very good jump rider himself, top rider, and this horse is owned by a guy who's won the Grand National twice already.
Wow.
So this is his third time that he's won the Grand National. And absolutely amazing. It's always is an amazing race because it's a true test of courage and stamina and jumping ability and jockeyship and training ability. Everything goes into it. You know, Tom George ran second. You got a feel for him. Michael Scudamore, he was a top jockey. He trained the third horse. It's just bringing in the new guard.
I don't know what I'm talking about here, but have the Arabs ever got involved in jump racing?
Yeah, they have. They in fact got the best hurdler in the world. Has won like 21 Group 1 races. The name escapes me. That's not his name.
No.
But it's the best hurdler in the world, without any doubt.
They brought it through, or they purchased it?
They bought it when it was a young horse.
Yes. And who would train their jumpers?
I'm not sure.
I know that their main buying man is now training. And do you remember Simon Crisford's gone into training?
Yeah.
So is this, was it Ferguson?
Yeah, John Ferguson.
I think he's training jumpers. Maybe he's got it.
No, it was before he he started training. And I'm just trying to think who trains this horse, but it's not one of the top guys, not Nichols or one of those guys. David Pipe. I can't.
Yeah, no problem.
Can't put it there, but
so we could see the Grand National having a few
again, and
the
you do this every week. Honestly, this is meant to be a show where we should be.
I didn't realise how low your limit of knowledge goes. You can normally get away with it, but I thought you'd know something like it. You started, I didn't drag it out. You said, "There's a great jumper, great hurdler." I don't know these great hurdlers are from. But the question I want to put you is: one day will we see 5 or 6 running in Godolphin silks over?
I don't think they're that keen on it. But this horse. I'm sure they had something to do with the pedigree of this horse. He might easily have been by one of their stallions, and they got involved when he looked like he was going to be very good. And he's won something like 21 group races. He's just a fantastic fan. Has Hurricane run? Hurricane Fly?
You mean
Hurricane Fly is the horse?
That's the horse in Ireland.
Yeah, Hurricane Fly.
That's the horse in Ireland.
That's the horse's name.
Yeah,
how's that?
And James, that is ridden by, your recall's about 8 minutes, I've worked it out. James, so that horse is trained by an Irishman and ridden by the top rider in Ireland at the moment. Ruby
Walsh.
So is that an Arabone horse?
Yeah, Hurricane Fly.
Oh, that's a very good horse.
Yeah, he's won something.
The weight's not stopping him.
Yeah.
What else we got in news, James?
Well, we got a lot of news. We wanted to talk to Mike de Kock. We think that they're still trying to get hold of him, but he's on voicemail. Yeah, but that might be because he's talking to someone, because you know what he's like. He spends a lot of time talking. Arkansas Derby, because that's why we wanted to chat to him. He's going now to the Kentucky Derby, and there was a very, very interesting article by Steve Haskell on why Mubtahij can win the Derby.
Yes, I read it.
It was a fabulous article. It was in one of the newspapers.
And he praised all the chances of the top horses, yes.
Absolutely. Well, the Arkansas Derby was won by the champion 2-year-old in America, American Pharaoh.
Very good horse.
Won easily, Baffert.
Yeah,
okay.
Very good horse.
So the Derby's shaping up. Mike told me when I chatted to him this morning that he's going to the Derby. The horse is leaving on the 17th. He's shipping.
17th of April.
Yeah, and he does 2 days quarantine or whatever, and Mike's going on the 25th. The Derby's on the 2nd, so he'll spend the last 7 days getting this horse ready. But what a schedule. He's just been to Australia, to the big sale there.
Yeah.
He's now going to, he's got these 2 sales here this weekend. Then he goes to America for the Kentucky Derby.
If you want to compete internationally, you have to do these things. And he's a great flag bearer for us, a great trainer.
Well, it's so exciting. If a few things went right for me, I would get on that aeroplane and go with him. Because I can tell you,
it's a trip not
that
to
will
be missed.
That will be the most exciting moment of our racing career if this horse can win the Kentucky Derby. We got him on the line, Mike de Kock. Right, let's see if we can have a chat to him about it. Okay.
We're battling with it.
Okay, well, we're battling to get him. Let's talk about Royal Randwick.
Royal Randwick have used a tracking system that Longines have put in.
Yeah.
Now, what's the story there, James?
Well, you know, the big thing as far as punters are concerned is to work out sectional times.
How far you've run.
Yeah. And Longines have now made it the best tracking system, so supposedly, that they can put together. State of the art. It's got all types of electronics and computers in it, whereby you can track individual horses throughout the race. I think trackers have done this as well.
Yeah, South Africa, Gold Circle are doing it now.
Yeah.
They're in the throes of completing it. We will have something, I don't know if it's better or equivalent to Longines as one, but it's a great aid to racing.
Yeah, let's have anything as good as Longines and we'll be very, very happy, because they are a real trusted name in watches. I'm lucky to own a couple of fakes.
Yeah.
So that's very nice.
James, let's talk about the sale. English, very good.
Yeah.
They were up
15% average, and 7-year high for them. So
big money.
The market in Australia is burgeoning. It's flying. You know,
buoyant.
And we obviously getting ready to go to the Magic Million sale, which will be end of May. So anyone wants to go.
24th, starts on the 24th.
They start talking to you about that.
Wilgebos.
Yeah.
They've renewed their sponsorship.
For the Triple Tiara, which is fantastic. The big 3 fillies races.
That's very good.
They bred, the family bred the filly that won the Triple Tiara.
Yes.
And I would think that Silent Call would be odds on to win the Triple Tiara again, which will be fantastic for them.
Lovely.
It's just great, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the core. Have you got anything else, James? There was one.
Zandvliet Stud has been sold. Paulie de Vet started Zandvliet Stud. Dan took over in 2000.
That's right, yeah.
They bred
Pocket Power.
Bred Pocket Power, yeah.
I met young Dan, his son overseas. He was working, he's back in the country. He must be, I wonder where he's going to go, because he seemed a horseman through and through.
Yeah, well, apparently it's been sold, and the new interests who bought it are not interested in breeding horses, or not going to carry on breeding horses, which is sad, because Zandvliet was you know, a wonderful stud for many, many years.
Very good horses, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a very interesting thing here. The Japanese Guineas. Did you see the Japanese Guineas? Did you name the horse that won the?
No, I didn't do naming in Japanese because it doesn't translate
very
well.
Good race, the Japanese Guineas. You know, the horse's name is Let's Go Donkey.
Let's go bonking.
Let's go donkey.
Oh, Let's Go Donkey. I must have had a bit of a say about it. Both names ought to be appreciated.
That's why I'm sure you had something to do with it. I thought
Let's Go Donkey. I had Donkey.
Japanese partners. You had Donkey.
Yeah.
And
Roy's
got Donkey. Roy's Donkey. And they've got Let's Go Donkey. They won the Japanese Guineas. So these, it shows you one proved to be a good donkey.
Yeah,
the rest of them were not much good.
They were not too good.
Yeah. I don't think there's much else.
No, there's nothing else. We've got Peter Gibson, and we've got, I don't know if you can see on the table there is the latest catalogue for the bloodstock sale, but I'll be talking to Peter about that in your call, which is coming up in a moment.
We're on the countdown then for this large field.
He's their sprinting champion there, and he's going to clash with ours.
They are ready.
Gates open.
And they're racing.
The gates are back and they're off to the roar of the crowd.
Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
Iridescence rolls on the South African.
600 metres left to go and JPEG is the leader.
National Colour is the leader.
Gypsy's Warning, who is closing with every stride.
Victory Moon out in the clear.
National Currency in front.
Variety Club by 3 parts of a length. Shay delivering his charge.
London News, the pride of South Africa, goes to the lead.
Sun Classic gets a run through in the middle.
Iridescence in front.
Variety Club's going great guns inside the 100 metres. Vercingetorix gets away. Easy winner. JJ, he won't go away. JJ, the jet plane.
And London News, he's everything they said and he wins.
Lizard's Desire squares the lecture and gets there by a neck.
JPEG the outside. JPEG.
South Africa roar. Iridescence gets the winner. National Colour, much too good.
Gypsy's Warning.
Shay wins the Elgos sprint. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner.
Crimson Palace has won it.
But JPEG wins the cup.
Variety Club wins the Godolphin Mile. Second, Soft Falling Rain.
The 1-2 for South Africa.
No horse has run faster.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
What a dominant performance.
We couldn't have written a better script. What a fantastic race.
A delighted South African contingent there, and it's a big night for them. They've done well here in the past, of course, but they use this meeting to showcase the talent that they have there, and they've got a treasure chest of it down there, that's for sure.
Louis the King is about 10 lengths off the leader, and Legislate now looking to do the work in front.
Fatura gets driven into the lead.
Louis the King blasts them away, and Legislate has won it. Louis the King did it.
Fatura wins the Germany event.
Louis the King stays king.
Now won 5.3 million rand for a 50-odd thousand rand purchase. A fairy tale story for the owners.
Right, welcome back. And before we go into your call, there are two little things I want to show the public. And the first one is the Randkiesfontein April sale. If Zane can zoom in on that, and you'll see it there at some stage. Well, there we go. And you see written on there, July noms on the 15th. Don't forget that as well. So same day, Wednesday the 15th of April, the Randkiesfontein April sale. I've had a look through the catalogue. And of course, here's another one for you, the latest Parade magazine. There it is, Futura on the cover, talking about the National Yearling Sale, which we will be doing with Peter Gibson in a moment. Thanks very much to Zane, our cameraman. Peter's in this hot seat at the moment. We're going to be able to talk to him. And here we go with your call.
Happy Archer now, Anton Marcos pulls the trigger, and Happy Archer, silent calls come from nowhere. Happy Archer the last 100 and silent call. Happy Archer moving like the wind.
Right, welcome to your call. And as we said, Peter Gibson is in with us. He's going to be talking about Bloodstock South Africa's big sale coming up 22nd, 23rd and 24th up at the sales arena. Peter, big time for you guys. They're starting to get the show on the road.
Yeah, of course, it's the big sale, a sale that stood the test of time. So it is really our national sale. It covers lots of different studs from all over the country. All the top sires, the new sires are represented. I think it's a great value sale, so we're very excited.
Peter, let's just close off. How did Val de Vie end up?
No, very well. It was certainly a successful launch. Splendid venue, as you know.
Yes.
I think Kevin's new systems of collections, credit control is paying dividends. After 30 days, we had recovered 80% of our collections. After 40 days, we have 90% collected. So I think those systems are paying dividends.
Yes.
Not forgetting these are new systems implemented after a long legacy of doing things in a different way. So Kevin has certainly put in some nice systems. We'll talk a little bit about the buyer's card credit application later on in the show, but certainly I think the new systems that Kevin has put in place are showing dividends.
Okay, so Val de Vie can only go from strength to strength.
Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously they're going to be, we'd anticipate there's going to be growth. We might look at the date of the sale itself, but clearly it has a place in the Western Cape, given that so many of our horses are now bred in the greater Western Cape area.
Yeah.
So certainly the timing is correct, with some modifications, but we were very pleased.
Peter, the plum in Bloodstock South Africa's year has to be the national sales which are coming up. You get the best bred horses, the best individuals. I mean, it's got a fantastic record. If you look back, tell us a little bit about the history here.
Well, look, I mean, obviously the Breeders' Association, it's a unique situation around the world where the breeders themselves own and run their own sales. The sales complex was developed in 1977 and has obviously grown in its over the years. It stood the test of time. I think the key to the whole sale is that it does represent all the breeders in the country, big and small, and I think that diversity translates into excellent value for money. From a buyer's perspective, of course, they're looking for the best value, and from the seller's perspective, trying to offer their clients long-standing relationships and the opportunity to buy the best blood in the country.
Yeah.
So it's certainly, as I say, I think that's the key. It has stood the test of time. It covers a wide variety of studs around the country. I had the privilege of joining the inspection team around the country, and it's an amazingly diverse country in terms of breeding, and different parts of the country, different breeders, different concepts, different bloodlines. So this is where it all boils down and accumulates in the National Yearling Sale.
Yeah, it's been a massive sale over the years, and Peter, one's got to say that 3 days seems to get a wonderful catalogue. I look through it. Do you guys have a situation where you say, hey, we've got too many, we've got to trim it down?
Well, look, obviously this sale has catered for over 600 horses in the past.
Yes.
Obviously things have changed. The decision that was taken by council and certainly was supported by most vendors, is that this sale has to be of a certain standard. The quality could not be compromised. I think our inspection team were paid a real compliment by some good judges.
Who are your inspection team?
Kerry Jack,
yes,
primarily, and supported this year for the first time by Paddy Crayer.
Yes.
And they covered the whole country in 3 weeks.
Did the whole country?
The whole country in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And it paid a good compliment by some good judges that those that have seen the horses on the farms have really agreed that their selection criteria has been excellent, and that they were very pleased with the confirmation that they've seen. So quality has not been compromised, and I think that's the key to the sale. It is a sale that we're wanting to attract our overseas clients as well as the biggest local buyers in the country.
And talking about overseas clients, are they coming?
Yes, look, we've got indication that Tony Millard will be out, Tom Goff. We had a very successful launch in London. Obviously, it's very close to some of the big events around the world, the Guineas in England, and of course we know about the Kentucky Derby in America. So that's going to put a fairly tight schedule for some of the big buys, but I think that we're going to have pretty good representation from overseas.
Who's auctioning?
We've got Andrew Miller, of course. We've got, you caught me straight off.
Steve Davis.
Steve Davis,
Steve
yes.
Davis must be doing. And
yes, and Graham Hawkins, of course.
Graham, they've got a polished team there.
Very polished team. They know the bloodlines. Steve is certainly very popular.
Yeah, he's been
with buyers and sellers alike. So yeah, we're very pleased to have the three of them together again.
Okay, so you've got all that in place. Now, let's just talk about Bloodstock South Africa. Is every breeder in the country a member?
Look, yes.
So they've all got an interest.
Look, you've got obviously a group of, different categories of breeders. The checkbook breeder, who doesn't necessarily have to become a member of the TBA.
Doesn't have to?
No.
Who does he have to become a member of?
No, look, they're selling through, obviously, stud farms, who are members.
Who are members, yes.
But I think the key is that in terms of the commissions, if you're not a member of the TBA, you pay a slightly higher commission than if you are a member. So there is a benefit for being part of the TBA, the Breed Society.
So every name in that catalogue, every vendor is a member?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
And if someone goes to them, that's their call?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there are a lot of people that, checkbook breeders, as we'd call them.
And they keep their name under the breeder, or does it go through under the vendor?
No, as the vendor. Obviously, some vendors sell as agent, and many sell just allowing the stud where the horse has been raised and cared for and prepped to take the accolades and everything else like that. So there are different ways of doing it, but certainly the members have a benefit of selling with a slightly lower commission.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just get my notes up in line. So, Peter, they're coming from far and wide, you're saying, and the interest. Now, when will these horses be up there so people can go and have a look at them?
Some of them have already arrived. I would have expected the majority of the horses to have arrived by the next Friday, this Friday I should say, the 17th of April. But obviously there's a lot of congestion in terms of the transport, so it's been difficult, with the two main carriers trying to get every horse into Joburg.
Of course.
So there's been different shuttles that are going, and this is a very busy time now. We wish all our vendors that their horses travel safely and well, but the majority of the horses will be in Johannesburg at the TBA Sales Complex by, I would think, the Saturday the 18th.
And Peter, have you been through it? I know we touched on it earlier. Have you been through it, and you're confident it's a very strong catalogue?
I think it's a very strong catalogue, considering, of course, that some of the vendors have not sold with us for the first time this year. But on the whole, I think that we've been very strict in terms of our criteria, so the quality will not be compromised, and that the 450 odd lots less the withdrawals that we expect is a nice enough sort of size for us to sell, and over the 3 days there's plenty of opportunity for buyers to view their horses as well.
Peter, now that your collections are coming online with the rest of the world, if I can use that term, this buyer's card, tell us about it.
Brand new system. It's something that Kevin has introduced. There was a notice put out recently. It's obviously a barcoded buyer's card.
Yeah.
Apart from the gold members and the permanent buyers, whose cards would be automatically replaced, every other buyer would have to have applied for their buyer's card again. A notice was sent out last week encouraging people to get that done by last Friday.
Yes.
So I think the benefits are that it's an immediate opportunity for buyers to get an invoice, to get all the details put onto the system. It allows us to close the sale much quicker. And it's just a moving forward, and I think it's been very well received. They tried it for the first time at Val de Vie, and there were a few glitches.
With the iPad?
With the iPad, yes.
Are you on top of all that?
Everything looks like all the little glitches that we understood came through the system at Val de Vie have been ironed out now. So I think the point is that get in touch with the TBA's finance department.
If you're a first-time buyer as well?
Absolutely. Of course, part of the whole change is to tighten up on credit.
Do you screen these people?
Of course, one has to. And I think, as I say, there's a change in the way in which we're doing our business. And over time, we would obviously want to encourage different relationships. Not everybody is able, of course, to pay in those terms. And there has to be a way of encouraging the smaller trainer who's dealing with a smaller buyer to find a way of still participating in this industry. But given that there's been a large amount of criticism in the past as to the way in which the TBA has collected money and managed some of the credit control, these systems, these changes are absolutely necessary. So it's paying dividends, as we've seen with the Val de Vie, and that's the new system. If anybody would like more information about it, they need to get hold of the TBA's finance department. Kevin Woolwood will certainly take them through the process, as will other members of staff. But I think it's a step forward, and most people enjoyed the way in which it was done.
Yeah, so it's going to streamline things.
It'll streamline things, yeah, and enhance the efficiency of the whole system.
Have you many freshman sides? Because this year it's been interesting with the freshman horses.
Fantastic season, yeah. We had 16 freshman sides that started this year. We've had some very interesting prospects, obviously Visionaire, Walmart Knight, Querari has all had multiple winners.
Yeah.
Over the weekend we had the first Biarritz having won, and I can't imagine that he would have had a very big book of mares.
Yeah.
Russian Sage is another who broke his duck on the weekend.
I saw that run, yeah.
But who's the Great Britain has already won.
That's right.
Bankables had a winner.
Bankable had a winner.
So these are interesting runners. Nortuk Fly, of course, was
very popular.
Fantastic.
Very popular.
Cape Guineas winner, yeah, and he's got
and now we're moving up to the big 2-year-old races.
Yeah.
So if a freshman sire can strike like three of them did last year. It'll make for interesting purchasing. It can give us a wider spectrum of stallions you can buy from.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, I mean, it's the essence of the sport, really. Is the hope that we live in, that something new will emerge.
Yes.
Whether it's a punter or a breeder or an owner, that the freshman size adds a different element. And of course, it's a never-ending cycle of trying to find that champion stallion.
Yeah.
So this year there was quite a large number, 16.
16
newcomers.
We've lost a couple of stallions off the top draw who could have thrown you those really massive horses, the Western Winters, the Jet Masters. Are there any more that have moved on?
Not that I can think of recently.
It's a bit of a tough question, but one looks back and says, if you're going to buy a horse to try and win the Vodacom Derby in July, do you go past Dynasty and Silvana? Who would you go for, Peter?
Good question.
Very tough question, I thought. Because the Vodacom Derby in July is a unique race of that distance, and Silvana and Dynasty seem to be
dominating that sort of sector. Blackman Alouche, of course, with Louis the King, Fort Wood, his last crop.
These the last crop?
Not quite right. He's got another crop, but it's obviously much limited as he was getting on in time. Jessica will no doubt tell you more about that, but he's got 11 on the sale this size, so he can clearly
Jessica's got to be very pleased with her new stallion coming through.
Absolutely.
Isn't he looking like
for sure.
A very good horse?
But I think this sale, talking about classic influences, this sale we've got the emergence of horses like Judpot.
Yes, very good stallion.
Mambo in Seattle.
Yes.
Same jurisdiction. We know the bad luck that she had, but there's a very smart looking horse in Durban, Saratoga Dancer. He looks like he's progressing.
Yeah. Yes.
So...
No, there will be good ones around the country, and as you say, Judpot has given us 2 Group 1 winners, I think.
Yes, in his first crop.
That's
right. So
there's some very good stallions.
I think it's a very...
And you've got your hard hitters, your Cahalls, your Magoks, there's plenty you can name. You can buy good horses.
Correct, yeah. And I think this sale represents that entire cross-section of the best stallions in the country. So, and I think that it's fair to say that this crop of stallions looks to be pretty impressive as a group. Lots of people have said the same, so lots to be proud of.
So, Peter, you're all set to go?
Yes, everything's set to go. I think if anybody, from a catalogue perspective, they've obviously been distributed around the country. They've been posted to most people. If anybody hasn't got a catalogue, please call me directly.
Yes.
And I will make sure that you get a catalogue, but I think most centres have been well distributed. In fact, most of our stock is now gone.
That's good.
So we're very excited. And of course, from the buyer's perspective, if anybody has not yet had any feedback in terms of their accommodation, again, please get hold of me or contact the TBA staff, and we'll make sure that you are accommodated and looked after.
Okie dokie. Now, it'd be remiss of me not to talk about export plans and things like that.
Oh, just sorry, James, before we leave that,
Paul.
if we can, Paul, sorry, just a quick one about forthcoming sales.
Yes.
Obviously, we've got selling right up until the end of November, when we have our ready-to-run sale. I think
Let's have a look at that. I'll give me that cover, and I'll get Zane just to zoom in on this for us. Zane's going to give him a moment, and you'll get to see. Peter, the Natal sale has always been a good sale.
That's the one sale I wanted to talk about specifically. It has increasingly become popular both with buyers and sellers.
Yes.
We're oversubscribed by about 140 horses
How
at
many
this
will
stage.
you sell there?
250. That's about the most that the complex can actually allocate in terms of the parking space. It's become a very popular sale with the Cape breeders, where one has to say that million rand race has attracted interest, both from the buyer's perspective, and it's really given that sale a boost. It's the right time.
KZN breeders, yeah.
Correct. But I think the quality of the horses being offered is increasing all the time. Because of the oversubscription, well, for the first time we are going to offer yearlings on the KZN breeding stock sale, which is on Monday the 6th of July.
Yes.
So there will be, for vendors who haven't been able to get their horses on that and would prefer to sell in Natal as opposed to going to the national 2-year-old sale,
which
sale,
is 3 days long. National 2-year-old?
The 2-year-old sale is obviously, yes, that's
3 years. So that's a
3
big
days
sale.
It's a big sale. It won't be as big as last year. We're predicting about 350 lots. But I think for the first time it will offer local breeders in particular an opportunity to sell on that breeding stock sale.
So the actual sale will be before the Vodacom Durban July, but the one on the 6th,
which is the normal breed, mares and foals and other breeding
and
stock. They will be now adding yearlings onto that sale as well.
Okay.
So
keep people interested.
Keep people interested, and we might be adding, let's call it unbroken horses onto the ready-to-run sale as well. For those vendors.
Unbroken horses, that should be great fun watching them work.
Well, they certainly won't be working, but they'll be. The buyers might be tempted to take a view on a horse that has just been late developing, and offers people the opportunity of acquiring something that they like.
Yeah, correct.
So there are lots more sales coming up.
Sure, lots coming up.
We've got a very big draft for our Cape Mare sale. There have been a few dispersals. Of course, we know about Zandvliet. And they'll be dispersing horses there, but I think there'll be some very interesting weanlings on that sale. So lots to look forward into the balance of the year.
Okay, Peter, I don't know if we're going to have a message from our sponsor now. And right, Peter, let's get back into the last part. I just wanted to touch base with you about stories that are abounding. We touched on them the other day about horse export plans and that. What's that you can just tell us about? Because I've heard some interesting stuff from a few people, and Michael de Kock. And let me start by just saying what Michael de Kock had told me, and I asked him if I could talk about it, because for 50 years we've heard different stories of what's going on. And Michael said that, again, it's going to take time. People mustn't rush, but there's a delegation coming out with 3 vets from Dubai with Meli Al-Basti. They're coming out middle of May roughly, and they're going to go down and have a look at it, and then going to only start working on protocols. But he said there's a wonderful positive attitude. What do you see?
Look, I agree. I think this is I'm not specifically talking about that delegation, what you've mentioned. Talking about the outcome of the risk assessment. It was performed by Dr. Evan Sargent.
Yes.
A draft report has been circulated to Ian Sanner's team.
Positive draft report?
From what I understand, and this is third-hand information, I've yet to see the draft, but it appears to be very positive. But I think that is the key to the optimism that we should all be feeling.
Yes.
Is that for the first time it is an acceptance that exporting out of an infected country, in other words, not having to prove your freedom. And whilst we know that the EU legislation is built around freedom and the zone, the new risk assessment was based on what the real risk of exporting the virus was. If you lock horses down, in other words, you accept that you're infected, and there are certain scenarios built around that. Lock them down, in other words, a seal for a period of the quarantine. You transport them in a seal, and you arrive in the country of destination, that seal never having been broken. So to me, that is the most exciting step forward for South Africa in terms of its exports. Because
Peter,
you're not
when will
beholden.
these report be available to me?
Well, I believe that it will be published sometime towards the end of April.
Not long.
Not long. So it is already in draft form. It will be published in a scientific journal because it is a scientifically based assessment of that risk scenario.
And then to get the benefits of his positive report, what do we do next?
Well, obviously then it's a negotiating platform. I think this will be a tool from which countries were able to negotiate brand new protocols. And as I see it, based on the fact that we're accepting that we're infected. Eventually the Cape, I'm sure, will retain its freedom.
Yes.
But it might not take as quick as we would like. And of course, there's still quite a lot of investment in the systems down there. But let's assume that that exporting from a country of infection means locking them down for a period of time, maybe 21 days, applying the blood tests, the diagnostic testing.
Which could give you a result in 24 hours. You want them to stay there for 3 weeks?
Correct, something like that. So
why?
Well, don't forget that it's a negotiable platform. Currently it's 40 days.
Okay.
So whether it's 21 days or 14 days, the code itself allows for 14 days. On a practical level, it might just be easier to manage the horses over a slightly longer period of time. So that you would take a blood test at the start, you would take a blood test at the end, you would blood test them post-arrival. And I think that the whole point of Sargent's risk assessment was to really determine what the real risk of exporting virus was, based on locking them down, blood testing them or diagnostic testing, with various scenarios. What if you add surveillance in the Western Cape?
Yeah, yes.
What if you lock them down in the post-arrival quarantine facility in a country or a trading partner that's willing to do so? What are those scenarios? And my feedback, as I say, it's all third hand, is that it is a very, very negligible chance of South Africa exporting the virus, or any other country which is infected wanting to export horses. And I think that's all that we really should be saying, is that the outcome appears to be positive. It is a new dawn for South African exports, because we are now changing the fundamental way in which we're approaching the problem. That's been in the code for many, many years, but we've obviously focused entirely on operating out of the free zone concept. So this shift, with the application of funding, with bilateral trade agreements with other parties, we've got new countries emerging around the world, our BRICS partnerships, obviously Brazil, India, Russia, China, offering us an opportunity with this scientific document as a tool based on the code to negotiate new protocols. So we have to be excited about it.
You have to be optimistic.
And optimistic.
Yeah, because the way that China is starting to get involved now, it'll help our breeders if they can.
Look, I've been to China many times, and I've been engaging on an official level through the South African Equine Trade Council, Racing South Africa, with the Shanghai Jockey Club, who have very, very close involvement with the Shanghai municipality to establish a racing setup. And they're one of many. But it really will boil down to how Beijing manages the issues surrounding gambling and what policies come out of that.
Who's the China Horse Club or Racing Club?
China Horse Club is a private initiative.
Is it a private initiative?
It is.
They're buying?
Mr. Teo, he's a Malaysian Chinese. He has set up a fairly complex structure of different business opportunities for the Chinese billionaires. Obviously, one of the main thrusts is horse race ownership. And so these syndicates, they're hugely active in Australia. They've got a South African horse in Singapore at the moment. Unfortunately, he's suffering an injury at the moment. He's got an injury at the moment. And they will certainly look at South Africa as one of the other countries that they invest in. But they first want to see changes to the protocol for obvious reasons.
We're all in the same boat.
But, they're a big player now. Their model is outstanding because they're getting people to participate on the international stage. So China, of course, in the long term, I think is going to be a huge benefit for all countries that are breeding thoroughbreds.
Peter, once again, very interesting. Thanks very much for letting us know what's going on. And we will see you at the sales run.
Thank you very much, Paul.
There we go. There's Peter Gibson, a font of information. And that's your call for this week.